Hi. Hi. I hate the preview here. Am I wearing the right glasses? Yeah. Welcome to the live stream, my friends. It's been a while, and by while I mean I don't know, since July. I haven't done one of these hot live streams, and I'm sorry to come in so late and so disheveled. Usually, I like to be a little bit more organized when it comes to this. However, much like an idiot, I decided to partake in the activity of groceries, of doing groceries. I'm an adult. I have to somehow quench my humanly need for hunger and or thirst through groceries. So I had to do that, which is why I started so late, and miscellaneous other activities. But welcome to the live stream. This is on the PigCake channel. If you're not familiar with the brand of the content in which you are currently watching, it's a magic-based channel. So it's a channel that's dedicated to card tricks and discussion about magic. Although this stream really isn't that. We don't talk about magic quite as much as I was going to say as much as we should. No. We don't talk about magic as we shouldn't, because sometimes you got to talk about more important things that are going on outside, things that are going on in the real world, not necessarily things that are related to magic tricks. Ew, be better.
Be better. Be better. Be better. Be better.
To talk about tricks all the time. I have to remind myself how gross it would be to have an entire podcast dedicated to talking about playing cards or magic tricks. I don't know how I would do that. I'd probably end up, I don't know, I can't mention things really on YouTube, right? I can't make like a hanging myself joke on YouTube without YouTube somehow demonetizing this. Of which, by the way, every video that I make is demonetized and I have to request somebody to look at it. So that's the vibe, unfortunately, of my channel. It's great. It's a really good thing when you're trying to either sell products or you're trying to carve some sort of niche into the space that you can't make any money on it. It's wonderful. But we have an action-packed episode here today. We're going to be going over a bunch of stuff that has bothered me. As you could tell from the title of this particular stream, I went to the ER because I'm retarded. That's kind of the vibe. You see this as a trend if you've known me throughout the years. Since 2016, as a matter of fact, most of you guys have known me here on the channel, and you would know that I'm retarded. And for a retarded reason, I went to the ER, which is great. And I guess I'll share that particular tale in a little bit. But let's see the comments here before anything. Hope all is well, says Z Nice 1983. I assume you were born in 1983, which would make you quite old. But everything is well. At least he dresses up for us. Yeah, some people have said that I have what looks like to be a jacket that I stole from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, of which if it was, I wouldn't be here streaming. I'd be smelling it. I'd be smelling the jacket because I would be obsessed with wondering what it is that she smells like. Please don't tell me you hurt your beautiful virgin feet. No, I did not hurt my beautiful virgin feet. It was internal. It was an internal struggle, which is unfortunate because it's dumb. It's a really idiotic thing, but I guess I'll detail that right now. Pig spilled his bedpan. I wish I was there long enough for a bedpan. Let's see what else. Ben Shapiro, again, I have to remind you, I love your sister, even though right now she's used up. She's pregnant. She has a kid. Not a fan of your Abigail anymore. Let's go surfing now. Everyone's learning how. Come on, the safari's with me. Sung to the tune of. I don't know what that fucking song is. That's a dated reference even for me. But I went to the ER. I'm an idiot. On, I forgot what day, but maybe Tuesday of last week. I think now I went to the ER. I went to urgent care first because I thought something serious was happening. This has happened before. I was in a bathroom. I was about to shower. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe, right? I splashed some cold water on my face and said, you know what? Let's go to urgent care. Let's go to urgent care, see what's up, see if everything's fine. I go to urgent care and I'm attended by what has to be a retarded person, which scares me because this is supposed to be an urgent care facility that has doctors and nurses and people that are intelligent when it comes to medicine. And I'm stuck with this individual that takes my blood pressure, and my blood pressure is through the roof. It's quite high. I forgot the number, but it was elevated. And they gave me an EKG. So they're putting all these sticky things on me. And the guy looks at me and goes, yeah, this is good. It looks fine. And he shows it to the doctor present. And she goes, no, I can't let you leave here. I can't let you go home in good conscience. You have to go to the ER. And I'm already kind of freaking out because I'm wondering, what do you mean I have to go to what's going on? Because you look at the thing and the EKG and it's unreadable because it's through the roof. It's almost like it's you couldn't diagnose anything, or you couldn't necessarily check anything from it. And this moronic idiot said and looked at it, goes, "Hey man, I looked at your EKG. It looks all right, dude." Really? Because the doctor present said that I can't go home. So I went to the ER to make sure that everything was good, and it was. It was good. I did all the blood work, chest X-ray. They hit me with the piss. Right, I kept drinking water out of stress, and turns out that it was nothing. It was an anxiety, a panic attack, if you want to call it that. It's funny because the doctor, which was this very thick, sort of blonde, fit, I wouldn't say my type, but she's definitely a conventionally attractive woman. She tells me, "Hey, listen, I don't want to say anything around here, but I would recommend mushrooms. I don't know. Microdosing is good. I do it because it's stressful here. So I recommend that because it's a more natural." And she started listing studies that talk about mushrooms and how good they are for stress and anxiety and management. And I just found it to be hysterical because she's the doctor. She's the medical professional here. And she's recommending drugs, illegal drugs, which is quite the funny tale. And that was, I guess it wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be. I asked my friend to take me to the ER because I don't know if you know this, but an ambulance to the ER costs about $1,500 a mile. Not about to pay that. So as I'm going there, I'm splashing water in my face and freaking out at this potential nothing. At nothing. It came back. Everything was fine. So shows a very valuable lesson, my friends, which is... I don't know. Don't assume that what you have is immediately a heart attack, although it's a shitty thing because the symptoms are very similar to a heart attack and some sort of a cardiac issue where your left arm suddenly feels a little bit weird. Then you start feeling a tension in your neck and your chest becomes heavy and you have a hard time. And it's all anxiety. It's all made by the brain. Isn't it wonderful? What your wonderful brain could fabricate. Your brain could fabricate aches and pains in places where it doesn't exist. And I ended up having to, I guess, go there. And now I'm going to see a cardiologist and I'm going to see my primary care physician next week. So that's going to be an exciting thing. I'm also trying to avoid pills. I don't want to take fucking any pills that are anti-anxiety or fucking Lexapro and all these ridiculous pills. I don't want to have to take that. So I might consider the microdose. Who knows? I might consider taking the shrooms. Beach Boys from the 60s. I'm actually not a fan of the Beach Boys. My love of music extends only to the 80s, maybe 79. I think Kansas made a couple good songs in 78, 79, Queen, but not really a big fan of the 60s. Google box meditation. It's a technique from the Marines. At least that's where I learned about it, box breathing. She did recommend that, which is kind of funny. She said, "Oh, do you know about box breathing?" I go, "Yeah, I'm familiar with some certain kinds of meditation." And she goes, "All right. You know, just little things, I guess." I don't know what it was, but I definitely panicked. I'm becoming a hypochondriac, which I don't think is a good thing. But at least it was a good learning experience. Jason Heiss says, "Do you have insurance?" I do. I do have insurance. My ER is not necessarily great, but it's not terrible when it comes to my insurance, especially compared to other people that I've talked to. They pay $15 for an ER visit. What? I'd probably suck a dick for that. I would actually suck a dick for that. Mine is reasonable, but it's not a percentage, which is worrisome. If it would be, because I don't know if you've seen the bills, if you ever go to the ER and you have insurance and you look at the actual bill that they charge, but a percent of that would be pretty much my entire self-worth. But it is good. Lots of addicts in medical. Unfortunately, be careful. Lexapro is actually a good one. That's the one that prescribed. They prescribed the Lexapro. They are trying to not prescribe anything more aggressive. But again, I want to avoid that at all costs. She's right. Mushrooms are not legal because of politics. So I am considering that, even though I do hate the idea of taking something like mushrooms. I don't want to smoke pot either. That's the other one. The CBD cigarettes have helped. And I've also trying to reduce caffeine. Even though I love caffeine, I've tried to reduce it just because it's in one of those things. It just raises your heart, and then you realize, oh, I think I'm dying, even though your heart racing is a normal thing. Your heart goes through certain times of the day where it might have palpitations, or you might be a little bit aware of it. It's a normal thing. But my hypochondriac ass head gives you that particular mentality, thinking that I'm dying, even though I'm not. I'm perfectly healthy. Sonogram on my chest came up perfectly fine. So it's a great thing what your brain does. It gives you one of these. So I'm giving myself a car crash for that. $15 will give you MGH, low, magic gay hands. No, that's their policies. My policy is not that. Again, okay, I have to fucking... I get it now. You mean that $15 would give me magic gay hands because I would be sucking dick for their ER parts of their insurance. My insurance is like all right, it's okay, but it's obviously the self one. It's not through a company. You have to do it on your own. So it's one of those, but it's still reasonable when it comes to visits and all the other stuff. I pay nothing on those. Also pills, I pay nothing. Like anytime they prescribe anything, but the ER is where they go, hey buddy, hey, we got you. They rubbing their hands together. It's a shitty experience. But the last thing I want to do is take pills. I might consider the mushrooms, maybe the Lexapro for a little bit. Ugh, what a fucking bummer. Because I know that I'm being, insert whatever word you want here, but it rhymes with maggot, right? I know I'm being that, but my brain is not aware of that. My brain is not making that connection. My brain goes, hey, buddy, no, I'm going to make sure that your body reacts in a way that you can't control. Try breathing. Breathe. Go ahead. Try. And of course, it works, but it's not as effective as you'd like it to be. But that's my foray in the ER. I guess I want to mention that as to why the title is ER and why I haven't done a stream in a week because of that. I guess some advice that I could give from this is obviously you want to get yourself checked, but hypochondriasis is a retarded thing, right? Where you assume that normal bodily functions are detrimental to your health. And that is something, unfortunately, that I keep fucking with. Lexapro ruined my mood permanently, okay? Good. At least I'm getting good insight here because I've realized that much like the community that I've brought up here on the, PigCake side of things, you're all like me. You're all liking dick jokes. You like sort of edgy content, things like that. Today I made a video, if you looked at my Instagram, Black King card trick. Black King card trick. It's about a black king and his black queen. And that's the sort of content that you like. So you're similar to me. So you'd have the same sort of things that I would. So it's good because maybe you guys have taken the things that I've been recommended to take. For example, Nick Fisher says Lexapro ruined my mood permanently. Ignorance is bliss, says Lee Sharp. I agree. That's definitely why this person is in this particular situation. I guess that ties into this one, right? Which is an actual medical problem, which is Disney fats. Disney fats. Now, Disney is obviously something we all know, and going to Disney parks is another thing that some of us have done, and you see a lot of fats there, a lot of big people, and you wonder how it is that they deal with that. Well, they deal with it because it's the only time of the year where they're getting active exercise and they're walking and they're, still eating those fucking Mickey pretzels and Dunkin', whatever liquor they have that's available at Epcot. And, oh, look, this is a pineapple thing with a whip on it. Oh, God, just the amount of gluttony. And one thing that I fell in a rabbit hole, which I'm not going to be sharing here today, but I am going to be talking, at least in brief, about what this particular thing is. It's, for some reason, there's an entire section of TikTok dedicated to people that call themselves big boned, the big boned, and how they can't ride certain rides at Disney because it becomes a safety issue. So there's a whole section of TikTok. You could look it up on your own. I'm going to show you one example that I found that's similar, not exactly that, but there's an entire area of TikTok. Like imagine magic, right? I guess bring it back to the good old virginity. Imagine an entire thing like magic. I guess it's more generalized because there are more obese people than there are magicians, even though I feel like there's a Venn diagram there. There's a lot of meeting in the middle. There's the fucking, let me give myself that. I just felt myself how to have a fucking brain fart. There's an entire area of TikTok dedicated to people complaining about rides and letting other people that are potentially going to Disney know what rides are good for them. The Tron ride was one that was seemingly the subject of one of these attacks because it's a motorcycle. So you kind of have to bend over, and there was a lot of discussion that I saw on that. And this one is funny because this account, if I could smoothly transition, is talking about essentially the Disney rash, which they've come to realize it's when there's blood pumping in your system. So let me just play it here real quick. It is a Stitch video, so it isn't played entirely, but you kind of get the point.
Ever heard of the Disney rash? It's also known as exercise-induced vasculitis. It's a block.
If you smell it,
Sharing.
a maximum weight limit is coming to many Disney rides. Guests weighing more than 180 pounds will not be allowed on most.
So that's a mousetrap. That's a fake troll news thing through Disney News, which is great. Because imagine if you're over 180 pounds, that would be 90% of Disney that wouldn't be allowed in the park to not ride rides. But this thing right here, a lot of people talk about this, which is the Disney rash, which is when there's blood flowing, when there's exercise, when you're moving. And they're taking it as a thing that they call the Disney rash because they don't know any other time where they have this particular rash, which the rash is your skin flushes, right? Because again, blood's flowing, you're moving, you're active, which is, normal when you exercise. It's normal when you go outside and you walk or you run. But they only see it when they go to Disney, which to me is humorous. But the real meat and potatoes, I guess pun intended, because they look like meat and potatoes, is that there's a whole entire section of TikTok dedicated to people that want to let other people know how to ride on rides. Hey, you could fit in this ride. Hey, this ride is big friendly, is plus size friendly, which I find quite humorous. I guess that ties in really well to health-related issues, I guess. Looking at the comments here. Jason Heiss says, you should take advice from YouTube comment section and drug-using doctors. You're definitely getting the best care, Piggy. I know, right? Isn't that the fucking best part? She did cite studies, though, which was impressive, that she was able to regurgitate a bunch of studies, and she did look fairly healthy. But she mentioned specifically the micro dosing and how that's helped anxiety, which I have looked up and it does help. But again, I don't want to become one of these guys that I'm hocked up on fucking mushrooms or weed. Ill. Drinking is already fun, and I've tried to cut back on that just because it also elevates your heart rate and it doesn't help you out in the long run, but it is fun. But the CBD cigarettes, I guess, is my fringe when it comes to any sort of use, right? I guess you could fucking compare that to weed if you want, but I am considering the micro dosing just because it's not a lot that you take, and to see if it actually affects any sort of anxiety, I think that might be in my interest. Lexapro gave me so much energy I couldn't sleep. I thought it would do the opposite. I mean, it is SSRI, right? So it does sort of increase the production of serotonin in your body, from my understanding. But I wouldn't imagine that it increases energy. I would have thought that it would have balanced out, right? So if you're low, it would have balanced you out. Disney ruined the Secret Invasion story. That's supposed to be a big-ass Thanos, but they low-budget that shit. I'm not familiar. I try to stay away from anything Marvel. Any fandom, which is actually the next topic here, I avoid at all costs. It affects everybody differently. It makes me emotionally numb. I'm basically Spock at this point. One of the other ones that I'm considering, magnesium, just regular supplements, ashwagandha. Those are also good ones that I guess teas are a good calming, non-confrontational, non-sort of committable sort of pill to take. So those are also things that I'm going to try to do now. But I've been relatively good I've been relatively good for the past week. I have had some episodes, here or there, but it's not crazy. It's all managed by my brain, essentially. So I guess it's kind of a weird thing because I've always kind of made fun of this sort of thing because it didn't really hit, right? You always have anxiety and you always have sort of things like that. But, I thought being on top of it and being aware of it would be good. But no, your brain is a really powerful thing that tricks your body into thinking certain things. If you have latent issues, it's kind of nuts what it could do, regardless of your own mentality, what it's doing on the back end. So I guess my advice legitimately would be, don't pass it off. If it's something that is not affecting you now, it could potentially hit you pretty aggressively like it did with me. I didn't have anxiety forever. I didn't have panics. And then I guess in the past year and a half, it's really been accelerated for no fucking reason. But you go through the motions, you go through the process, and, you find out you're good. You go through the doctor. And now, I've gone to the doctor more so than I have ever in my life. And everything always comes back relatively positive. Cholesterol is just a tad bit high, but just by a point. And, just things like that I guess you have to manage. But a lot of retardation, to be honest. The only thing that helped out was working out. It says hungry and hungover. Working out is another one that I avoided, at least for the past, after I had this panic episode. Because again, I'm like, let me not raise but you need to raise your heart rate. You need to work out. You need to exercise. So I got pretty aggressively working out in the past couple of days. But one thing that I've started to do more often now is to stretch. So for me, I think one of the big triggers is chest pain. Anytime I feel like a pain in my chest, I assume something's happening deeper. Really, it's because, again, what's the key word? What's the word of the day? Retarded. I'm retarded. I don't stretch. I just get into, complex kettlebell workouts. No stretching. I do, high reps. No warming up. And then for the next week, I'm wondering why my chest hurts. And I think that it's a cardiac issue. So take my advice and stretch and, realize that certain things aren't as serious. But some things could be serious. It's not to ignore life-threatening issues, but more often than not, you're really tricking yourself into something that you don't have. The last time I took an SSRI, I could not finish the race. I used to run nightly with my wife. Oh, so you're being coy there. I think you mean sex. I think you mean fucking, right? I think that's what you mean. I don't know. I'm getting the impression there that you mean fucking. But I feel like that is one of the side effects for it. I battled severe anxiety. Okay, I already read that one. My bad. Practicing jiu-jitsu and magic have helped me more than any silly medication ever did. I think that's the key too. I think that's the key as well, is to find something and stick to it and actually, get involved. I'm actually job hunting right now, funnily enough. But get something involved that isn't necessarily going to keep you in a room editing all day or looking at a computer. Go outside, do stuff. Take the advice that I give, right, from my retarded videos where I say, hey, go outside. I should take my own advice. But I do go outside and, partake in other things other than just sitting here and editing terrible magic videos. But you need to do more of that. You need to be busier, do more things. I think that's the key to solving all these retarded things. Do some SSRIs give you ED though? That is true. Yeah, I have read that. Effexor is poison. Whatever you decide, don't touch Effexor. Poison, I tells you. All right, I guess I'll avoid that. I've never heard of that. Considering, at least from a armchair psychologist perspective, when I took psychology in college, you do learn about certain medications and their effects and all this stuff, even at a very elementary level. But I've never heard that. Rohan Clear says the key is to join the PigCake Magic Academy. That is true. You join the PigCake Magic Academy and you just lose your stress by watching me teach you magic stuff. I just taught a wrist vanish there not so long ago. I think I'm going to try to schedule an interview with Peter, which is another great one. So, that's a good bang for your bargain, as I've been told. Undervalued. What else here? Dope content, says Jonathan Rosario. Good to see you. Let's see. Mushrooms are healthier than beer, and you could find them in nature if you know your stuff. That is true. I'm going to turn into the Russian genius, I guess. Hey, Piggy, you should take some mushrooms. They're really good. It gets me creative. It gets me rapping. I'm a rapist. Like, I don't think that's the way you say it, Vladimir. I rap and it really gets me to think of lyrics. I gotta love it. Job hunting, intriguing. What are you looking for? Editing, video editing, something in my niche. So that's kind of the gig. I've had some success, but it's not as easy as you would imagine to look for stuff. But I'm keeping in my space, and I want to get into video editing professionally. So that's one thing that your boy's getting onto. Speaking of Disney and fandoms, I guess that would have been a good segue about 10 minutes ago. What is this? What is this? So this is a video, tweets from a fan account of Ariana Grande, which, don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Ariana Grande. I would smell her farts personally. But it says Ariana Grande very quickly changed her profile picture and then switched it back. And you have this person that is refreshing her account and then refreshing it constantly. So, she refreshes it. Obviously, it's a 2-second video. But they find themselves refreshing celebrity pages in the hopes that something changes. Maybe their bio, maybe their fucking, I guess in this case, a picture. 12 million views for this particular video. You could see that I guess a lot of people are talking. I can't see it because I'm not signed in. It's psychotic, right? This is psychotic. Speaking of mental health, I don't understand how anybody has the time. Maybe they're younger. Maybe. I don't know. But what's going on where people actually spend their days refreshing pages of celebrities in the hopes that something changes? And this one, I looked at their account. I think they have a number of followers, 17,000. They're a fan of Ariana Grande. Again, who isn't? My goodness. But look right here, Ariana Grande via Instagram. So there's updates that they post from Ariana Grande. And this one is just psychotic to me that she or he, I don't know, or it decided to come in here and refresh the page until something changed. How do you even spot that? I think the obsession and fandom is something that really needs to get controlled. I think that it's more prevalent now. There's obviously always been fandoms. You have all these super fans for Star Wars, professional wrestling. Now it's Marvel. There has to be a limit. And it's one of the things that I talk about when it comes to virginity. Virginity is too much. Too much of anything is bad for you. Too much water. Your body's made up of 70% water, and too much water kills you. Something that your body needs to sustain itself kills you. So imagine becoming obsessed with Marvel and Disney and, just obsessing over these celebrities of all people. These theater kids. Could you imagine you having an obsession over a celebrity? Somebody that was one of these weird kids in your theater class? My goodness. Mark Ruffalo? You really look up to Mark Ruffalo and Adam Conover?
Be better. Be better. Be better.
I think that one is... Sorry.
We're living in a society...
I hate to be that hippie guy, but my goodness, do we not have any sort of value? We're doctors in society, scientists, police, firefighters. I don't know. I'm iffy on firefighters. I'll give you that. You got 9/11, but I'm iffy on firefighters. But you have all these, profession, service, even I would argue service in the service industry are more important than celebrities. And we put celebrities and athletes above anybody else. What is wrong with us? My goodness, we have people that are studying how to stop cancer, all these things that could kill us. And yet, let me care about what Ariana Grande posted on her fucking profile picture. Let me listen to LeBron James. What? I don't even know which one to put.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
You're not welcome here. These people are... They take painful shits. They take poops. They're normal, ordinary people. They just have a skill that happens to be a little bit better. But it's such a specific skill that we overvalue over actual things that it's kind of stupid. It reminds me of Cuba in Cuba, doctors are paid less than taxi drivers because they value that sector more than medicine. Even though their medicine is great, all their doctors tend to be really, really good. They're just underfunded and underpaid. Whereas a taxi driver, because they value tourism, is a taxi driver makes a lot of money over there, which is wild. And it's the same thing, I guess you could take that into society, that we value people that could save our lives less than, let me think of an example. Mark fucking Ruffalo. Ew. God, what a fucking... let's go through here. I was using at VN. You need to come up. Speaking, let me shit on doctors real quick. You need to come up with better names for medication. Escitalopram, right? All these fucking names. You got to come up with better names. Atvian. Like, what the fuck is that? Or Ativan. For a couple months after panic attacks, it worked for me. Side effects weren't worth it in the long run. Lift weights and alcohol. That's funny. Yeah, I feel like that's the good advice. If you want to avoid anxiety, lift weights and drink every once in a while. Contact Alex Jones. That job would be wild. Well, funnily enough, when I was looking up video editing gigs specifically, the first one that came up on, I guess I didn't complete it, but I looked on LinkedIn. It was for Steve Crowder, that they're looking for an on-site video editor, which is quite funny that would come up organically on Indeed. But I don't want to relocate to, I think, Dallas or wherever, Austin. Not a big fan of a relocation. My body is 70% PigCake. Oh, boy. Just drink it in, man. Just drink it in. Let me channel Chris Jericho circa 2017. Just take it in, man. Just a 70% piggy. Even though right now I hate this outfit. I threw it together because I was wearing this Dare shirt. Speaking of drugs, I was wearing this to get groceries. So I said, let me put on my AOC jacket. Let me go through here. That's the person's full-time job, says Rohan. Funnily enough, speaking of full-time jobs. Good evening, critters. The way a majority of our youth spends their time shows how far we've fallen as a society. True, but I think every generation sees that about the previous generation. I just hate this generation because I look at their little stupid haircuts and their attire. I call them SARM goblins. I went, actually, funnily enough, I watched Oppenheimer today with my brother Pig, and we had a good time. And there's a movie theater right by the gym. Right? And the gym, you see all these little SARM goblins. They're wearing wife beaters. They got pipe arms. And they have the TikTok haircut, the sort of broccoli cuts that I can't stand. And you see them there. They're like puffing up their chest, even though they're benching the bar. Now, yes, you are, doing something. Granted, it's better than nothing. But don't be out here puffing your chest when you're pressing the bar, man. 45 pounds. Maybe it's impressive because they're 90 pounds, but these little SARM goblins that get me disappointed for the future generation. I meant the name of the drug dealer rather than the product, says Rohan. I think the names are Latin. Oh, okay. All right. That's funny. Yeah, immediately I thought that you meant that, oh no, it's the Latin people that are dealing drugs. But let me give myself a car crash for that. Although I know way too many people that are selling Adderall. Even though there's an Adderall shortage, where are you getting it from? My goodness, you must be paying a fucking arm and a leg for that. And I don't understand people that take Adderall. It's meth. Why are you giving kids meth? Look up video editing in VTuber community. Those guys are desperate. I might consider that. Do you mean medication names? All right, there you go. What's the other topics here? England. England can't ever talk anything about the United States of America. You can't. I'm sorry. I saw a video here of a checkpoint to see if you have a certain type of gasoline. What is going on over there? I'm again, I could be generalizing here. This could be somewhere in Europe rather than England. I'm assuming it's England just based on the time that I was there and seeing the uniforms of the police. But could somebody from over there explain to me what the fuck is going on? Right? What's happening? You guys can't talk shit about us and our shootings that we're here dodging bullets on the way to school when this is happening. So it's pulling up. Electric vehicle, by the way, that's the bit.
How you doing?
How are you?
Not so bad.
Do you have a license there, Hunting?
I really hope there's not Australia and I'm being an asshole generalizing just an accent, just like a generalized English accent. I'm assuming it's England.
You're luck I do.
Lovely. No problem.
So
Anthony.
apparently,
It's your
They're-
own business, Anthony.
Yes.
Right, okay.
let's see. I think you could hear
We're
clearly.
doing random fuel sampling.
Okay.
So do you mind just putting in with just a quick fuel sample?
Not a bother, yeah.
Is that all
Fuel
right?
sampling.
Right, come in.
Where we go here?
Just pull in over here if that's all right.
Fuel sampling.
She's electric.
I don't know why he pulled over if it's an electric car. He could have just told us.
Sample an electric vehicle.
Get your hands off my fucking car. According to the comments here, let's see. I assume there's to find people that have red diesel in their cars. For anyone confused, they're checking cars that have red diesel, which is cheaper, but only meant for farm vehicles. If someone uses red, let's see what they finish, diesel for their car, it could be fined and maybe have consequences related getting their car imposed. It needs to be enough and cheap for the farmers. Suck my nuts. If I wanted to fuel my car with cum, that is not your business. Fuel sampling? What? I guess it's some environmental issue, right? Maybe the emissions. But what are you doing? If there's a pit stop, I guess having a stop for alcohol makes sense. You don't want drunk drivers around. But if you stop me and tell me that you're testing the gasoline in my car to make sure that it's to your I don't give a fuck. What are you doing? There are so many other things that you could be doing that are more efficient and effective. Fuel sampling. Stop my car. You're going to check the fuel and make sure that I'm not using the wrong kind? What are you, crazy? That can't be somewhere in America. There is no way that would ever fly here. With the amount of trucks that are just fucking on like 4 wheels, just massive, just lifted trucks, just they're blasting. There's no way anybody would ever, especially where the cops don't even have guns, they're just barrel through the stop. They wouldn't even stop. My goodness, nobody could ever say anything about America ever again. When you guys get stopped to see what gasoline you have. What? Let's see, fuel testing. Everybody in the comments here they're wondering, what are you talking about, fuel testing? What? Somebody says here, some countries have the wackest laws. This has a lot of comments. I guess tax reasons. Here in Australia, we use one diesel for anything. So it's the same, no color difference. Okay, I don't fucking know about that. But just, if you're, no, thank you. Sampling my fuel. I'd take my dick out at that point. I'd shit myself. What are you doing testing? We don't have emissions in Florida, says Daniel. Good to see you here. I'd be willing to hire you to edit some security footage for me, says Lee Sharp. Hey, I'm willing to do it. Sign me up, dude. I'd gladly, if that's a serious thing, as a video editor, I'm always glad. Especially security footage. That seems intriguing. Oof. Kind of clandestine, right? It feels like some sort of PI, that I'd be doing work for a PI. It's to do with Texas crispy bacon. Sounds like an Irish accent. Jesus, fucking Piggy has a mod. Hello, Mr. C. Yeah, Daniel, my former co-host of Ham Radio. Daniel is my moderator. Let's see. It is English, but with an Irish accent, maybe Republic of Ireland rather than North. Don't sample my fuel. You'll find Bacardi and liquefied Twizzlers. I think I'd believe that more from Hungry and Hungover than anyone else, even though you said it heat shield. But no way I would pull over and let you fuel test. Fuel sample, just fuel sample. There's another English one, by the way. Another thing that I did, I went to a couple pubs, and I love England. Don't get me wrong. My time there, I loved it. I love the countryside. I enjoyed every minute that I spent in England. Your pubs smell like shit. I'm big on cologne, as you could see. My cologne collection is over here. Those are all different types of colognes. I'm big on it. I'm big on scents. I'm big on smelling good. And whenever I went to an English pub, it smelled like just grease and BO and stink and just funk, general funk. So every time I go to these pubs or bars, I just do this as a bit. I'd be drinking my beer and I just do one of these, right? As like a joke, or this. And then Peter kept slapping my hand like I was a child. And he said, don't do that. Don't do that. Fuck. They'll kill you. What are you You're telling them that they stink? What the fuck? Yes. So it's a thing. When you go to your first European club. Let me lower the volume here. Everybody here is pinching their nose because that's what it smells. They just stink. The clubs smell like tequila. I went to the clubs in Blackpool. They smell like tequila vomit. They smell like sambuca, which I had over there. That was fucking a nightmare. Gross. And I kept doing that, especially around the fats, because the fats, they emanate more scent. Let's see what the comments say. Imagine working them in the summer. I love how deodorant ad was the scroll after this. That's funny. See, so they agree, right? Pair of Subway in the summer. Onions and cigars cooking up. Spent 5 weeks in France. So when I first went to England, that was my immediate. I just got hit in the face going to one of their clubs and a pub. I guess this is general European, but no, England specifically is the pubs. I remember being in one in particular in Yorkshire, and I had to, because the person next to me, I just smelled every inch of their armpit, and they were quite far away, but it still hit me in the face, like as if they put on a cologne that's designed to smell like that. Ugh, come on, be better.
Be better. Be better. Be better.
The Magic Convention actually didn't smell. At no point did any Magic Convention smell. I've been to Ohio. Actually, funnily enough, I just found out Magic Live is now. I thought Magic Live was in a month. I thought it was in September. My bad. It's actually happening right now. But no convention that I've ever been to that's a Magic Convention have I ever experienced scents, right? Maybe just general smells of a hotel, but not like bad smells. I'm thinking of places where I've experienced bad smells. A wrestling show. I went to an indie wrestling show in Fort Lauderdale a couple years back. Smelled like asshole. Same thing with pubs in England and the places that I went to. It smelled like every type of cabbage, onion. Quite pungent. So English pubs smell like a Magic Convention, says Lee Sharp. Funnily enough, look at that. Psychic Piggy here. Already addressed that. Dancing in France colorized 2023. Rohan says, I know France sinks. Actually, Italy sinks. Get it, Venice? Because it's underwater. I know a lot about you. Like why you're watching this ad. And it's specifically because you've looked up magic tricks. Well, hey there, my name's PigCake, and I've been doing magic trick tutorials on YouTube for the better part of 6 years. And I'm here to tell you about the PigCake Magic Academy with over 1,200 videos already uploaded, designed to make you an expert magician. You get access to all the content the moment you sign up, and I'm uploading every single week. As a matter of fact, I uploaded a video today. Just look at that list of moves, tricks, ideas that you're gonna get access to the moment you sign up. It doesn't end. As a matter of fact, I could stop talking completely, and the list is still gonna keep going. Just look. So check it out, the PigCake Magic Academy. The link is going to be below. I go with you, but I'm stuck in this video. But I'll wait for you to go ahead and click it. Go ahead, you know you want to. Man, I can't wait to have that long hair again. My goodness. Oh, I know it just sounds like I just did a Coke snort, but with my raging anxiety, the last thing that I would do is cocaine. Could you imagine? You give Coke to an anxious person. England can't say shit, smelly, fandoms, I could fix her. What else do we have here? Condoms and six-pack. I did a type of video that I thought would really pop off because I guess it's a very unique format, right? Where I'm shuffling cards. I don't know if you've watched YouTube videos. You're on YouTube right now, or Rumble if you're on streaming on Rumble for some reason. But you've seen videos where people provide commentary over video game play, right? I thought, hey, let me do the same thing but with card magic. So let me do card tricks while discussing societal issues. And I just made a video talking about this guy, Andy Elliott, where he has this thing where, he's very confrontational, very aggressive, very alpha, one of these dudes. I don't even want to call him a Tate, right? I think Tate is very tame compared to this guy. This guy's just one of these obnoxious, you don't have a six-pack? Well, I'm not going to hire you. See right here. But I did a video on this guy. I thought it was good. If you haven't seen it, I suggest to watch it. It's on my channel. But just look at the douche.
I'm going to tell you this, my entire company, my entire team, if you don't have a six-pack, you don't work for us. No, I know. It's called, everybody say standard. How about we raise them?
What?
How about we raise them? How about we raise them? How about you guys quit getting civilized and you guys quit...
But what this guy sells cars. What about a six-pack is going to help you sell cars? Oh, the discipline that you learn from getting a six-pack. Yeah, but that's a different thing entirely. Shut up. One is sales, one is self-discipline. All right? Yes, there's this crossover, comorbidity, I guess, the word, I don't know, highfalutin. But there's some crap, but there's no fucking, shut up. There could be independent, right? And I've seen fat guys sell cars like pancakes. So what is this mentality? This guy's out here with his fucking Brock Lesnar wife. I think this one in particular.
Ask, man, how do you guys run around with all that energy? And it ain't hype. And dude, there's people that are pissed off about it. You know what I love? We're excited. Guys like, oh, I got the energy bullshit. I don't like that stuff. And they go home and their wife is like,
look, all right, I don't know what the fuck. And he addresses this in one of his videos. But you can't be out here, alpha dog, with this fit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of the loafers, right? I'm a fan. I got a pair myself. Look at that. Nice little loafers. I'm a fan of, the ankles. You want to show a little bit of ankle because if you're wearing loafers, you don't want to have socks. So you want to show that. But these are women pants. These are girl pants. The tightness, the fit. What is this?
He comes home and
his wife is on more testosterone than he is. I mean, she's not terrible. It's not an ugly woman. But she's definitely a very, I would say, simian looking woman, a very strong chinned individual. What are you talking about here, dude? Obviously, you got the energy from the amount of fucking testosterone coursing through both of your bodies. So I get standards. I get that. And there's some merits into some of the ideas that he has. But there's a fucking limit. I think this one, let me see what's about the haters. There's one in particular I remember I put in a video that I showed where he shows some guy, he calls out Garrett.
Garrett, take your shirt off. Everybody, Garrett, take your shirt off. Come on, Garrett. Take your shirt off, Garrett. Okay, now hold on. Now, Garrett's a killer. Am I right? Garrett, how old are you?
29.
Garrett, does this bother you?
Yes, sir.
He's grabbing his belly
It
fat.
doesn't bother you enough. If it did,
I
you
agree.
wouldn't have it. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Why you gotta say it like a dick?
Come on, put your shirt down. We don't need this. You don't need this. You got kids?
I feel like
Yes, sir.
Garrett
2
has
sons.
bigger biceps and a stronger chest than this guy. Garrett looks like a fucking beast. Yeah, he has flab here, but if he went and decided to do a cut, he'd probably get jacked. He'd probably be very ripped, but he already has the arm definition. He's obviously very fit. So what's the point here? People have different priorities when it comes to working out. You could be working out and not necessarily have a six-pack. It's not about commitment. It's about goals. So what the fuck is this guy trying to get at? Oh, and he talks about the haters. Oh, I love the haters. They talk about my dick.
They're going to throw hate at you. My nipples, my shorts, my pants, all of it. I love it. I can see your dick. They say all kinds of shit. Good. It just feeds the algorithm. Let it flow. When I start these comment chains, hey, this dude can cut ice with his nipples, and then the next guy's like, yeah, this guy's, this or that. Dude, when I see that shit, I'm like, guys, come on, man, get in there, comment away. Why? Because the algorithm's like, shit, man, people like this.
He's even overcompensating with the, what is that, a 45 millimeter band or a fucking watch? What are you doing, man? Trying to overcompensate with everything.
And then he goes and throws it on all your pages. So, dude, are haters?
So there, I mean, I did a video on it. I'm not shitting on the concept. The concept is sound, right? You want to have some things in your life that are disciplined, right? You want to exercise. You want to be healthy. But at the same time, fuck off with your stupid way of just over alpha, just unnecessary bullshit. The fuck? Don't hire anybody with a six-pack. I did a whole video on that shit. But it's just too much. And he's talking about, oh, people go home and they look at his wife in the back. Look at that. I mean, not ugly, but I would say a very strong testosterone-driven individual here. So I don't know where he's... the kettle essentially calling the pot black there. What the fuck? So I've done a couple of those videos, by the way. I've done those a couple where I do commentary about social issues while shuffling cards. I thought it would take off because I thought it would be an interesting, novel way of approaching the commentary space. No. I'm essentially, I feel like, again, I know there's a lot of, it's easy to blame YouTube, but I've noticed specifically every time I post on TikTok, my videos immediately get 200 views and then die and then no more views. So there's a ceiling there, which is weird. And I've noticed also specifically people have mentioned, hey, Piggy, I don't get notifications. I have notifications. I have the bell on. I don't get your videos. What's going on? I don't know. So I'm not happy about it, but I'm not going to stop. You can't stop me. Okay? YouTube, you can't stop me.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
You're not welcome here with your hate and your pushing down on the man that is PigCake. All right, bitch. Let's see what other comments here. I'm sorry. I know I've skipped a couple. Let's say penis. English pubs smell like old corduroy and welfare checks, says Magic Buzz. Yes, that's exactly it. They smell like just bad leather, like just onion, cabbage. And don't get me started on the food. If you ever think that England has cuisine, you're an idiot. Even London. It's the same shit. It's fried matter. Let's see here. That was a good video, says Rohan. I guess talking about the video that I was talking about. This guy. Fat guys sell cars like pancakes. Lamau, former car salesman. I think so. I think they'd rather get somebody who's there that looks like, their uncle, rather than somebody who's going to alpha them, this meathead that's going to essentially shake their hand. There's other videos where he's talking about how to introduce himself to other people. And he's like, I just go for their balls. Like, I just start ripping at him. Hey, man, give me your money. Like, ha, ha, ha. No, you're going to be standoffish with the majority of people, especially here in fucking Miami. You want to hit him in the family, right? You want to pretend like, oh, look, it's the uncle. That's cool. That sort of guy. So I think a fat guy has a better chance than a super jack guy. Super jack guy just look like the douchebag that's going to try to upsell you on nitrogen-infused tires, which I know a couple people that fell for that fucking prank. An alpha wouldn't care, all clothes gender neutral if you don't care. No, I think I disagree there, because if homeboy's out here just pushing this ideal, I guess he's doing it for a reason, and the reason that he puts on those, pants and has this, look at this, the nipples here, right, is to, again, drive the algorithm. Look at this guy. You're a car salesman, man. Like, dude, like it's not like you want to downplay a car salesman. You are a salesman. You are providing something that people need, which is cars, transportation. But to put yourself up here, come on. What's the other one that I remembered? Here, in that video, he talks about a fisherman. He's like, motherfucker sitting on their ass like a fisherman. Have you ever seen a fisherman work? Have you ever seen a fisherman at the job? That's not an easy fucking job. Deadliest catch? What? To catch the tuna that you get in cans to fuel your protein TRT shits? My goodness, that's not an easy job by any means. Let's see here. PigCake can cut ice with magic. Fuck this guy. Also, where is he on stage? Says Rohan. I'm not sure, but it seems to be some sort of event. You know how these guys always have the same sort of bit, which is, I have the secret. You have to pay me for my secret. Come join my seminar. And essentially, he's successful because people join a seminar on how to be successful. So it's a causality loop. Am I using too many highfalutin words that are incorrectly placed? Let me know. My goal in exercise is to improve my reflexes, both body, mind, and stress. Also to get strong. Last things I could think of. I do fill my tires with nitrogen, not a scam. No, but it is a scam to overpay for a car when you have that. That's the scam. Your shadow banned or something. I believe it. Again, I'm very biased because I want to now blame myself for the fact that my fucking videos aren't going off. Look how annoying it is. You have to click on the little notification bell. You have to click on this subscribe thing, and then you have to click on, I think, 2 or 3 things, and you're still not getting notified of live streams and videos. Fuck off. I don't like that. This one is here. I've noticed a lot of airport freakouts recently. This one in particular, I could fix her. I guess that was my only thing that I could really think of when it comes to this. I could fix her. So she's freaking out. Yeah. Yeah, I can fix her. What's that move, man? That can't be good on your knees. That's wild. Airports have really gone downhill, right? I think the shirt here was also pretty great. It says, get your shit together, essentially, is what this shirt says. Funnily enough, with this woman over here losing her mind because her flight got canceled. I've noticed that. I don't know what's going on in airlines recently, but flights are getting canceled. Things are getting delayed. Ugh, God, it sounds like a fucking mess. Thank God I haven't traveled through that for a while. But the way I wrote it here is I could fix her. Now, that's my mistake, right? I think this happened in Miami, as a matter of fact, too. So those are the type of people you see in the Miami airport, and the type of people that I'd be staring a hole through because I'm disgusting. I like to look. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with staring and looking at a very attractive individual. Indeed, you have to click on the little sensitive thing. The little sensitive thing. I don't know what that means. I hope there's not a sensitivity warning when you click on my videos. That'd be very fucking annoying. Let's see what somebody sent me. A video of somebody working out, and this person is very rotund. Ill. God, all right. The secret to selling to magicians. Claim you have the ultimate secret to something even if you don't. Yes. Oh, ultimate ACAN. I know how to do the best burglass effect, and you'll get at least 15 sales guaranteed. I made a YouTube channel with GPT when it was a hot topic, and one video randomly got 120K views. I don't know what's going on with your channel. I don't know. I think I should just do another channel and upload on that, because there's no reason why people shouldn't get access to all the videos if they're clicking on it specifically. It's kind of lame. I've also heard from people the videos not showing up on the subscription feed, which the minimum that you should have is at least the videos on your subscription feed. So I don't know. There's some shenanigans afoot, but alas, it's not going to prevent me from uploading constant content. Look at that. I uploaded a tutorial. Today I'm going to upload on YouTube. As a matter of fact, when I'm done with this, I'm going to upload, what is this one? The Black King card trick. Nice little card trick about a Black King and his Black Queen. As a matter of fact, let me see if that one in particular still under review. Okay, that's a funny ass saying to put on a shirt. Get your shit together. I'm iffy on funny shirts. I've become less fanly. Oh God, fuck. I've become less of a fan of funny shirts. I have one that says "Short but my dick tall." I sell one that says "Short but my dick tall." No, I don't think I'm a fan of that one anymore. Specifically because I remember people taking pictures with me with the shirt, which I thought was cool and fun. But you're that guy. You're the guy that wore a shirt that says, "Oh, this is a 2-seater." Is that really something you want to be? I don't think so. Show up in my dick tall is like a good festival shirt. Like at a festival, if I go to, I don't know, some music bullshit, I'll wear that. I don't mind that. But like to a bar, I don't want to be the guy that's show up in my dick tall. Although I did get pics with some hot girls. I'm pretty sure if I put effort, I probably could have bagged at least one of them. But I didn't put effort. I was kind of hungover too while I was drinking. And they're like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And then you always have to go, it's not true though. You always have to humble yourself. So it's a 1-2. They laugh at the shirt. And then I'm humble when I mention as to the fact that no, it's a joke. It's actually very small, but I work really hard. And they go, oh my God, whoa. My. And then you're in there, you're talking, right? What's the other one? Speaking of bagging, I know where I will be safe. I'll be safe in Africa having sex because they just have condoms everywhere. They have condoms everywhere in Africa. Let me show you.
How much? How much?
So I guess it's a perfect metaphor for that Andy Elliott style of salesmanship, right? You have one guy that's very passive. I guess he's still following him like, hey, selling condoms. And then we have the guy that undercuts him and goes, no, condom. See, look at this guy coming. The alpha comes in. Now, I saw this on Twitter. Used washed condoms. I don't know if it's a condom that's obviously they're unwrapped, right? So I'm questioning already, immediately, where they came from and their condition. Now, the fact that they're on the street lets me know that there's a market for it because you just wouldn't, you wouldn't be selling something if people aren't buying it. What? Now, they look, they look comfrey, for lack of a better term. But he's holding it with his hand. Is there some guy right now in wherever whatever this is in the planet? Is there a guy who's washing these out and then putting them on a clothespin and then selling them? Is this happening? Is there a guy who's getting paid right now to clean used condoms and then hang them on what is that? A hanger and a clothesline, or rather a hanger or fucking pinchers. And just the fact that they look stretched out is also concerning, right? They look stretched out. They look used. I mean, there's no fluid in them, but they look used. If your lawyer looks like this, by the way, you're doing life in prison for a parking violation. But what's happening here? Could somebody explain? I can't understand what they're saying either. Huda hoop condom? I don't know what he's saying other than condom. He did say buy our condoms. I don't know what the fuck is happening there. Used new condoms. I don't know. Seems like a paradox to me, right? I can't imagine anybody ever just, hey, let me just pop it off and then reuse it. What? So there has to be an audience buying used condoms. I don't have access to the Twitter comments, but I'm sure that would still be a cesspool of misinformation. I can't think of a comment for this condom video that wouldn't get me banned from YouTube. I think we're treading very dangerous waters when it comes to this particular territory, especially in regards to, Africans selling used condoms. But insert whatever sort of dated joke you want here. Let me go through here. Reused? Lol, what the fuck? I think the question is, who does that guy want you to hump? Well, definitely someone that you don't care about catching something from, because there's no way you go, maybe they're testing them by putting water in them and seeing if there's any holes. Not a good look there, that's for sure. Yeah, they sell reused condoms. There's packaging with branding. Look it up. I guess call me interested. I'm going to look up used new condom. Used washed condom. Hate condoms too. Condoms are awful. But you got a police bust scheme to wash and sell, what is that, 300,000 used condoms. Oh, that's a lot of fucking fluid. Used condoms being washed and resold, inspectors say. Vietnam police seize more than 250,000, 320K condoms. Oh shit! Let's click on this Newsweek. I guess might as well show you what I'm looking at. Right? Let me smoothly transition here as I pick my nuts. It says almost 324,000 used condoms were found being washed and reshaped. They swooped in on a factory in Vietnam. According to the media outlet, it's been rented by 32-year-old Pham Thai Tang Ngoc. Local media reported that she had allegedly told officials somebody delivered thousands of used condoms to her. File photograph of condoms. I can't. Resold to unsuspecting customers. Oh boy. Detects used condom facility. You know, that's I gotta say that's a wild one. But I think they're being repackaged, honey. They're being repackaged and, reused, and they're meant to deceive the person that's buying them. When you're buying them in Africa from a clothes hanger with a fucking thing on it, holding the very stretched condom, you know that shit was on a dick. I was going to say something, but I can't without getting completely banned. But you know that they were on a dick. Some cop counted them to know the specific number. That is true. Maybe I hope they weighed them. I hope that they did that by weighing them. But condoms, there you go. Let's look at the comment section here. This is the end portion of the video where we look at the comments that you guys have left and we address them. As far as the playing cards, by the way, quick updates. The designs have been sent to Bicycle. We needed to put them on a template. That was a back and forth. They've been subsequently put on the template and now sent to Bicycle, where they're apparently going through the pre-shipping process or pre-printing process to make sure that everything is good. So that's the update on the playing cards. Hopefully, we should be able to get them in your hands ASAP Ferg or ASAP Rocky if you're a fan of, I don't know. This hasn't been a terrible episode, but it's not up there in my best ones. So as far as the playing cards is moving along through the process, and hopefully when I get another update, I'll be updating soon. I'm going to send out the survey soon enough, probably this week to the backers. So that's a fun little update there. Just sell them to the sperm bank, says Rohan. I don't know about that, but just the thought of touching somebody else's used condom, you know that they're in there. There's friction, there's skin, there's semen, there's fluid from the female. There's just a combination of stuff that I wouldn't want to touch. So whoever's the cleaner, you're really a champ. Sorry for that coke snort. Here it says, I thought all you had to do to reuse a condom was turn it inside out and shake the fuck out of it. I don't know. That's never been a technique that I used. When I was a virgin, what I would do is I would use oh God, it's almost embarrassing to admit, but I would use a new condom between, like, we had one particularly long session. I would take that out and put a new one on. Oh God, what a fucking loser. Jason, of course, some cop counted them. Rohan comes in with some logic and says, nah, you can't weigh them. They're different sizes. I would think so. Gutbuster Mike says, damn, I'm late. I watch tomorrow, but it's better live. It's always better live. These are always better live. Let's see. Imagine going on a date and whipping out a reused condom. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. If the guy pulls out, homeboy reaches into his pocket and pulls out the condom just there. Like, hey, we got it. Ready? You ready for this? Yeah? Oh, I can't wait to fuck with you. I don't know why I suddenly have like a fucking German 90s tech accent. Oh, I can't wait to have the sex. You know, with the fucking flop. That's like if somebody, if you ask somebody for gum and they just reach into your pocket and pull out like a single thing. Ew, no. Let me see where the packet is. Thank you. Great show, Piggy, says Lee Sharp. Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't know that it was a good show. I didn't think it was my best. I have to think about which one is my best, which one I felt like the best with particular live stream. I don't know. I'd have to look at them. I see them from time to time. I go through them and I listen to see how I sound. And it's almost like a very out-of-body experience because it's me. Obviously, I've seen a mirror. I know what I look like. But to hear myself talk and to hear the jokes and stuff, I don't remember any of it. So people have made specific references to things that I've said on the podcast and things that I've said in my videos. I'm like, I don't fucking remember. So whenever I see myself, it's a very disassociative thing. If you do content of yourself, I assume you have the same feeling. But it's a very weird thing. Not R. Kelly says sex. I guess, yeah. They're fucking. At least they're fucking. I'm guessing a Marriott in Vegas probably wants to sell you a timeshare. I guess you're talking about the Andy Elliott fellow. I don't know if I've skipped any comments here. YouTube, I already read that one. You have to click on the little sensitive thing. Hane says because the war is about to start. There's fight bans left and right. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about there in particular when it comes to condoms. I don't know what the best live stream was, but the best video was the BLM card trick. I thought that was a good one. I thought that was a really fun one, and I looked at that one recently again, and the jokes were pretty good. I gotta say, the jokes were on point. There was one, I think the card trick, the Mexican card trick was a great one too. I dropped a couple bangers there that I found myself laughing out loud at. The best live stream was when the slushy and you got scared of Butcher, but it was Daniel. The slushy. I don't know if that was a live stream. I don't know if that was a live stream that I did or if I remember that particular one. If you could tell me the name of the... I mean, it's going to be dumb for you to look for it, but I don't know if I remember that one. I do remember a live stream. There were a couple ham radios that I liked. Some of them I'm annoyed because Daniel would try his best to annoy me and say dumb shit or not pay attention. I just look at him and he's just like this. I'm like, could you please pay attention? We're trying to do a show here. I want to have a modicum of professionalism in the show. And you could see that I could do his job perfectly fine. I'm here. I'm transitioning. I'm being the producer of my own live stream. Oh, God. What's the one of my goals, funnily enough, if I remember I had it on Patreon a while ago, was to have my own studio where I could have like somebody there. But that's a very lofty goal that I've never reached on as a threshold on Patreon. I think they took goals off anyways. But I do recall that was a thing to have an actual studio for that. But I think this is perfect. I don't need anything else. The best live stream was when someone connected to his Bluetooth speaker, which ended up being my neighbor playing solitaire. So that's what it was. It wasn't any sort of Butcher. I can't come there think of anything. I like the interviews that I did. The Peter Turner one was good, but there was an hour where he just talked about cars and I was dying. There was a couple where Eric Leclerc, I think, was a great interview. That was a fun one. We had some back and forth, which was great. There was another one, I think the On the Scene one was a great one too, where we went live to this restaurant during the elections and, we're summarily disappointed with certain results, but that is life. And that was a fun one too. So I guess that was just come to mind as my favorite particular ones. I was on a podcast. My co-hosts would go on their phones, so I know the feeling. You just want to jump the table and go, what are you doing? And there are many times that I'm genuinely angry in a ham radio. So if you watch those old episodes, you could see that, there's genuine anger coursing through my veins when Daniel... I was also hammered for most of those, so it's very easy for me to get emotional. Eric's turned into a debate on why Trump sucks. It wasn't really a debate. I remember talking with his girl at the time, and I think we came to the same conclusion. I didn't really want to get into a whole discussion as to who believes in this or who believes in that, because it's just going to be a circle argument, and it's not going to amount to anything. It might be entertaining to watch, but I remember we talked about that briefly and maybe got that into a certain thing. But I think we ended amicable, especially with his girl, which wasn't bad. But I could see how some people maybe thought that was a thing. I remember seeing a comment that somebody's like, oh, he couldn't even argue that. I'm like, I didn't want to get into a whole political discussion with a guy's girlfriend that I don't fucking know. My goodness. It was a live stream. It was a good one. Butcher was stalking you. Daniel leaving a slushie. It was a good prank. I think the slut, there was here that I got a McFlurry, but I don't know if the slushie might have been Butcher. But I do know that there was some prank. Oh, okay, yeah, and I remember that. I remember that one in particular. Omar coming. That was another great one. Gentleman Wake showing up. I'm disappointed the Magic community is not more ideologically diverse. I think so. I think that there's a lot of... I mean, I'd wish that there's obviously more common ground in the middle. But, things are very pushed. Things are beneficial to certain people in power for there to be a bigger divide. And I think, 90% of people are very reasonable, on both sides of any sort of political discussion. I think 90% of people are very reasonable. And there's that 10% that's very loud, very just obnoxious. And then they're the ones that take up what people think are the majority. I don't think so. I think that's a very small fringe amount. But having differences, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, certain people might find that to be a point of contention. But as far as that, I don't think there was any sort of actual legitimate argumentation in that particular live stream. Easiest way to Pharaoh shuffle. My goodness. Talk about virginity, right? Easiest way to Pharaoh. I guess you don't want to put pressure. Let's not get too magic-y here, but you don't want to put too much pressure. If you put too much pressure, you're going to smush the cards. So you want to let the cards do the work for you. You see that? I barely put any pressure. It's not a perfect Pharaoh, but it's still fairly close. So you just want to hold the cards like this. You want to just gently kind of let the cards sort of fall into the Pharaoh position. Now, you're not going to get perfect Pharaohs every time, but you could get close. And then eventually you could learn and, refine the technique. That was pretty close. You could also tell by the length of time that it takes how good you did with the Pharaoh. That I missed a bunch, but see that pretty long. But you want to just use the cards and have the cards do most of the work for you. You don't want to force anything. When I was younger and first learning this, I would shove the cards into each other like they were, I don't know, me trying to finger blast somebody in middle school. So you want to be gentle with them, and the cards are going to fall into place. Look at that. Even on this particular stream, we still talk about magic virginity. Can't avoid it. Oh, I thought this one said your mom's a hoe. But it says, look in the card box, which is very virgin-y. Oh, what's in the card box? Oh, it still says, look in the card box. Let's see. Should I look? Fuck. I was trying to be a virgin, but my virginity has limits. But as far as the stream is concerned, I think that is good. I'm going to definitely do more of these. I'm sorry I didn't do more in the past week. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, had a little bit of a bout with anxiety, just fun stuff. But I'm fine. I'm good. Everything's A-okay, my friends. I don't know what to end this with. Maybe some advice based on the topics that we went through. I already gave some advice based on my current conditions. I guess some things that I could say. I already mentioned the loafers. Loafers are very versatile. I mentioned that I'm, going through Miami Vice phase, and I still am. And loafers are the big staple of what they wore, Tubbs and Crockett. And I'm a huge fan. It's a versatile shoe. It could be dressed up. It could be dressed down. No socks. You don't need socks for it. I do suggest a little bit of talcum powder or baby powder. But it's such a versatile shoe. Some people think that it makes you look like your drug-dealing uncle. I disagree. What the fuck is that? Is that a spider? Okay. So loafers, definitely go with them. They're fun look, especially white ones. If you're going to rock it out, it stands out. It looks classy with anything. You could wear them with black pants, pink pants like I have. You could wear them with anything, really. So they're very versatile. And Nancy Pelosi is doing insider trading aggressively, very aggressively. They're all doing it. but Nancy Pelosi specifically more aggressively.